Hello everybody, and welcome back to the channel. This is episode 16 of my weekly investing journey, where I document my portfolio, my contributions, my ETF buys, sales whenever they're there, my dividend strategy, and how I'm building towards long-term income. As you can see, the figures in my bag, it was a very good week. Portfolio is now 4.69% year to date, which, it is nice to see. It's very, very nice to see. As always, this is not financial advice. I'm just sharing my own journey as an amateur investor here in Canada. Anyways, as you can see by the amount that we went up last week, this week was a very strong week. In terms of the staying disciplined, well, I added my usual 75 weekly contribution. I just finished doing my taxes, and there is a chance that I may be able to contribute a little bit extra whenever I get my over contributions back. I still don't know how much, but in any case, you will see it documented here. In terms of what I did with the $75 week contribution, where I bought one share of USCL, I bought one share of S-Day, and I bought one share of C-Day, and I sold nothing. Now, as you all know, there is a new, or you may not know, and you are about to find out, there's a new ETF, a bi-weekly payer by Brontom. GPay, I think it's called, or PayG. Oh, I don't know exactly what the acronym is right now. But it looks pretty good. I've always liked Brontom. I've never really held their ETFs because the income that they were paying was not enough for me to add it to my lineup. I tend to gravitate towards ETFs that pay between 20 cents and 40 cents. Anything big, no, thank you very much. Anything lower just doesn't really add up. So I'm thinking about doing something. I don't know if I should, I've got USCL, which overlaps with HYLD. So I don't know if I'm going to maybe sell a percentage, maybe 50% of USCL, 50% of HYLD, and buy the Brontom ETF with that. It's something that I'm still thinking about, but we'll see. So next week, we're going to receive the second distribution for the bi-weekly payers, which is, it's very nice. It's very exciting to receive the distributions. It's one of my favorite parts of this strategy, not just watching the portfolio value move, actually, but seeing the income machine working in the background and hear that, ka-ching, ka-ching. There's something just, magical about that. Again, yes, portfolio performance last week, we were up 16.1% year to date. This week, we're up 4.69% year to date. However, all of this is volatility driven. Okay, we're up this week. We could very easily be down next week. Okay, so we're just gonna take it for what it is. Be happy with what we've got. But really, at the end of the day, as you know, income first, growth second, patience always. Okay. In terms of how the stars and the laggards for this week, well, obviously one of the big stars for this week was AMD, which was up 10.55% on the week, which is pretty good. Biggie, amazingly enough, which not amazingly enough because obviously, as a result of investors moving into more risky, volatile assets, it was normal that Biggie will be up today. Which actually explains also why S-Day is down today, right? S-Day has more of what we would call defensive stocks, energies, and dividend stocks and things like that. So it doesn't surprise me that S-Day was actually, a little bit down this week. It's not a true loser. It's just more of a soft lagger, right? As you know, well, the weekly story really was what the markets rallied after the US-Iran ceasefire. This helped trigger a broader risk-on move, right? Oil dropped, I believe I think it was Reuters, reported that because of the ceasefire, sparked a relief rally. And not only did it push oil price lowers, but also hurt energy shares. But it did help risk assets rebound, right? And actually, this is the kind of setup that fits my portfolio so well. When market rotate back into growth, higher, better names in semiconductors, tech-related income plays, holdings like AMD, BG, AVGY, HHIS, do really wake up, right? Meanwhile, more defensive dividends areas like energies, utilities, staples, is not where investors wanted to have their money. It's not where they wanted to be this week, okay? And that's why I was saying that helps explain why S-Day ended the week on the weaker side. It was basically sitting in the wrong part of the market during a week when investors were clearly chasing down growth again, right? In terms of my top performance, I don't have the graph this week, but I do have a list of them. Obviously, like I mentioned, AMD 10% up, BG 9% up, HHIS 8% up, AVGY 6% up, AGCC, hello, 6% up, QDay was 5% up, HYLD 4%, QQCL 3%, Copper CPCC 3%, Uranium 3%, 63%, CANI 2%, USCL 2%, HPYB, I believe it was 1%, HTIP 1%, HHIC 1%, HPYE 1%, GLCL, so silver was like 0.9%, and C-Day was 0.7%, right? With S-Day, the only one dropping 0.29%, but it's nothing to be concerned about, right? So, overall, this was still a very broad-based positive week for the portfolio. Almost everything participated, and even the laggard was very negative, 0.2%. I don't consider that to be a true loss. Portfolio-wide, I think the biggest takeaway is this, my leverage and tech-heavy portfolio income ETFs, they finally got the momentum, right? They finally got the moment under the sun after underperformance during most of the time, during the whole debacle with this Middle East, U.S., Israel, Iran war, right? I would say the cover call core stayed steady and it did its job. And the whole portfolio benefited again from once the geopolitical pressure, is down. This week was a great reminder to myself of why I'm sticking to my strategy. The defensive income focus core helps keep things grounded. But when the market environment improves and the risk appetite comes back, the higher octane positions really add upside. So, this combination is exactly what I'm trying to build over time. Income first, growth second, patience always. Anyways, if you like what you see, please do not hesitate. Click the like button and subscribe. We're trying to reach 100 subscribers before the end of the year. I'll be back next week with episode 17. We're going to be watching for the bi-weekly distribution and see them when this momentum continues. Take care of yourself. Thank you so much. Bye-bye now.